We have to finish up the me-haul truck. I mean, we have to finish it up. But we got some major setbacks with the me-haul truck. I think that's where it's at. I'll probably lost it because my wife says my memory's going bad. Catastrophic engine overheating. 17 minutes into this video and I haven't done nothing. That line all that work just to tear it off and throw it away. I'm thinking it's definitely the me-haul truck now. Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Today, we have to finish up the me-haul truck. I mean, we have to finish it up. I got some major setbacks on the me-haul truck, and it's a beautiful day outside. But we got to finish it up, because I'm going to tell you why. I got a car show. I'm not doing that the Ford Fest, maybe next year. But this year, I'm going to go to the Carb Kings. It's a big event, and it's going to be at Summer Duck Raceway. And I'm going to enter in the me-haul truck. Me and the wife are going to go there. We're going to set up a tent. I got some decals for it. I'm going to put those on at the end of this video, or maybe, I don't know. But we got some major setbacks with the me-haul truck. But I had never finished painting. Like behind the toolbox, that's never painted. Behind the bed, that was never painted. I still got some rust holes. I don't know if I can get into. I might just slap a little piece of metal up there and tack it into place. I don't know. Maybe even set screw it. I don't know. The toolboxes were never addressed, painted. The tank was never addressed. The foot rails were never addressed. The front cowling was never addressed. We need to sand this down and paint it. Take this emblem off. I got the other emblem in my toolbox in there. I think that's where it's at. I'll probably lost it because my wife says my memory's going bad. We gotta address the toolboxes over here and the step here. And the top of this door. The top of this door was never painted. But I need to address all that stuff. But before I do, I want to let you all know on some of the big accomplishments it has. The me-haul truck is on the road. The me-haul truck is taking shape. The me-haul truck is driving. Some of the setbacks. Me-haul truck is tagged. It's got insurance on it. I've drove it to work a few times. One of the setbacks is the battery is discharging now. It wasn't discharging before. and now the battery is discharging. I thought maybe it was the radio. So I unplugged the radio wire, which plugs in to the fuse box to the constant power. I even tried putting a solar panel on, and the discharge was more than with the solar panel. I mean, overnight it would draw down to nothing. So I charged the battery up. Got the battery still good, holds a charge. If I unhook the positive battery terminal, and the battery holds a charge overnight, doesn't drop a lick. So on the next episode of Fixing Things, I could almost got my finger stuck in that door. On the next episode of Fixing Things, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. So they call it a parasitic draw. There's a parasite in my truck causing the electricity to trickle out. The next thing, big major setback, was on the very first maiden drive, the Mihal truck had catastrophic engine overheating. It wasn't overheating before, but on the first maiden test drive, I mean, before we got a mile and a half down the road, I mean, the water was pumping out. It was blowing. It was almost like there was a head gasket, but there wasn't a head gasket problem. Ended up, there was just rust and muck and everything inside the engine block. We put a new radiator in it, and wasn't the engine block. I mean, it wasn't the radiator. So we put a new radiator in it, but the radiator got plugged up from all the muck that was in the motor. So we flushed it out probably 8 times, and it's still dirty, but it ain't mucky. I mean, it was coming out like diarrhea. So we don't want diarrhea in the Mihal truck motor. So we got that flushed out. Probably next week, we're gonna flush it out one more time, and then we're gonna put that super cool fluid down in it and put some antifreeze down in it, because wintertime is gonna be coming. The fall is getting ready to be here. September's coming, that car show. I want the Mihal truck ready. So today, we're gonna finish painting off all this stuff. We're gonna do it fast. We're gonna prep it, spray it, and get it going. And we're gonna be using Rust-Oleum paint. So I got 2 cans of the Farm Implement Alice Chalmers Orange, which is the exact same color that U-Haul used. Here's the U-Haul. This is the Alice Chalmers. Here's the original U-Haul. You tell me if there's a difference. A good thing is my new drive shaft didn't fall out of the truck. It's smooth as glass. So many people were commenting on my thing about that drive shaft. Well, it's going to rattle apart. That thing's going to fall apart. It's going to rattle your truck apart. It's going to come out of that truck like a missile. I can't tell you how many comments I've got on my homemade drive shaft. The drive shaft works great. This old man knows a few tricks. See, all these new doodaddies and these people and all this stuff, you know, all you new mechanics, all you guys you're like the fact checkers. Listen, back in the day, I remember watching my dad put bearings in a 1959 Buick, I don't know, Skylark or something. It had the big Batmobile fins on it. I'll put a picture of one right here. And he couldn't get, it was like snowing outside, and the rod was knocking really bad, and he had to get to work My dad dropped the oil pan, found which rod was loose, took the bearing out of it, cut a piece of leather belt. Leather belt. I'm telling you, a leather belt. Soaked it in oil, sanded it down to where it fit good. He sanded it down, sanded the leather down, and put it up in there where it was just a little bit tight. Soaked it in the oil. You know, he drove that for the rest of that year with a leather bearing. A leather bearing on the connecting rod. I'm not lying. I'm telling you. I watched it with my own eyes. I was young, but I still remember it. Not only that, we drove that car from Maine to Colorado with a leather bearing in it. My dad was tough. My dad was smart. So all you new facts checking super mechanics that think you guys don't know nothing. Sometimes old school is the best school. These old trucks were made old school ways. They were designed old school. They don't need, you know how many fuses this has? It has 3 fuses. That's all it has. 3 fuses. There's a couple spots in it to put more fuses in, but it only has 3 fuses. I'm not lying. Now there's a couple circuit breakers on it. But see, back then you didn't need all that stuff. That's the kind of stuff that goes bad on your vehicle. This vehicle will still be on the road when most of your vehicles are in the junkyard. See that Nissan right there? It's probably got 150 fuses in it. See my F350 dually? It's probably got over 100 fuses in it. See that Chevy piece of junk over there that I still need to work on? It's probably got over 100 fuses in it. That Chrysler right there, that Town and Country piece of junk. You know how many fuses in that thing? It's got a gazillion fuses. See that Pinto, 1973 Pinto sitting right there? You know how many fuses are in it? 4. You know how many electrical failures it's had? 0. You know how many electrical failures this had? 0. Except for now the battery's discharging. So what does that tell me? It ain't the wiring, it ain't the fuses. It's something else that's simple and replaceable. All right, I gabbered on way too much. And I don't have the gift of gab. But sometimes you just gotta say what you gotta say. You just gotta do what you gotta do. And what we gotta do is we gotta get this truck ready for the car show. It's not gonna win no awards. It's just satisfaction to me. It's just satisfaction to me that I'm gonna drive this truck about 75 miles to a car show and drive this truck 75 miles back. Sit there all day in a canopy with my cooler and some lawn chairs and relax. Look at some beautiful cars, see the events they have. This is not like any other car show. They have bands, they have events, they have wet t-shirt contests. I'm not into the wet t-shirt contest. They have they don't have wet t-shirt contests. What do they have? They have pinup contests. Strike that out. You didn't hear me say that. I gotta wash this truck. I can't put paint on it. With the paint looking like this, paint ain't gonna stick to it. I did try the Rust-Oleum paint that's holding up this paint. This hood was painted like a year ago, and I washed it down and the stuff comes off of it and it still looks good a year ago. So 17 minutes into this video and I haven't done nothing except run my lips. Let's wash this thing. You shouldn't use Dawn's dish soap, that's bad for your paint. That'll strip the wax off. There ain't no wax on my knee-hole truck. That was a lot of truck to wash. Don't want to do that every day. Whew. All right, now we can get prepping for painting. I think the first thing we'll tackle is the back of the bed. Whew. Damn, give me something to drink. All right, we got the me-haul truck all washed up. And first thing I want to do is I want to sand the back of that bed with some 220. We're just going to scuff it up real good, and then we're going to tape off the areas we don't want the paint to hit. All right, I'm not so worried about making this perfect, because my plans are in the future is we're going to put a diamond plate thing. My wife would like to see some kind of sides on here. If my wife says she'd like to see some sides, she says this looks too empty, then probably I got to put some sides on here. And she thinks it should have where it folds down and that it can hold some weight. I'm not sure, graded metal or something, but it actually sounds like a fairly good idea. You can put stuff in here, it's not going to bounce off. Maybe something where we can slide them and take them off and still use this to put pallets on. My wife is so smart. All right, let's work on this. Let's let this dry. All right, so I'm going to try not to sand this orange. This is the original orange of the truck, and it's been protected by the bed for years and years, decades. Got some dark clouds coming in. Always when I'm painting or washing, looks like it might rain. Tape off around here. Tape off, we don't, no overspray. So let's go ahead and start sanding and get that done, and then we'll start taping off. Thought my wife was gonna run over the dogs. All right, I got all that taped off. I was going to tape this off, but I mean, this sky is getting dark and rainy, and I want to get at least the truck. I can always move the toolbox away to do the toolbox later. All right, it's raining. I was hoping I could beat the rain. I sanded off the cowl. I got that cleaned up. Now I'm probably gonna have to scuff it again because it's probably the spots where I scuffed through the paint. The paint on that was pretty thin. It looks like the truck was probably came white and U-Haul painted the orange on it. But the inside of the cab is orange. I don't know, maybe it's the other way around. All I know is the paint on the cowl was really thin. If it blows over fast, I'll dry it off and we'll go at it. If not, it's going to be tomorrow. It's the next day. Man, we had some rain out last night. But today it's going to be a beautiful 76 degrees. And we're going to paint this cowl. Now the rest of the paint, white paint, came out good. But I have some big stickers to put on here. But there's some, I don't know, you can feel it in the paint. It's like streaks. I don't know if it's from the trees or whatever it is. These oak trees, I don't know, but you can feel it in the paint. So after I paint this white, I'm probably going to run out and see if I can get some rubbing compound or something to get that off. I tried washing it off. I tried using magic eraser on it, and it's not coming off. Magic eraser takes it off a little bit. Actually, it worked pretty good on the grill, and worked pretty good on the white on the hood. But I don't want to put a sticker over it and have that stuff underneath it. You know what I mean? This is the Mihal truck, right? I don't want, if I ever do get it all off, I don't want it to be seen underneath the clear part of the sticker. All right, so let's get back on. I think it's time for us to tape up the cowl. And then after we get the cowl, we're going to do this part of the door on the white, and the white will be finished. It's cleaned up pretty good. Got the rust off, plus the rain helped rinse it away. All right, let's get busy. All right, we got it all masked off. I can tell you right now, it takes a long time to tape all that stuff on both sides and everything, but it makes a very clean paint job. If you ever seen some bad paint jobs and the rubbers and stuff like that are all painted, yeah. First thing I like to do is hit the hard spots. while we're letting this dry on that sag, I just went ahead and hit it hard, let it run past that tape line. Then we'll come back and tape it off. But we're going to go ahead and tape this off and spray paint the orange down below. We already got it prepped. All we got to do is tape it and do it. That's all we got to do is do it. This is the me-haul truck. And what's a me-haul truck without some me-haul stickers? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get these on here. I'm thinking right about here. It's definitely the me-haul truck now. All right, line it up with that light, about 3/4 inch of the black line. Gotta go slow. Make sure you get all the air bubbles out as you go. All right, we're at a great stopping point for this video. Me-haul truck looks like it's ready for the show. It's not ready, but it looks like it's ready. That's a major accomplishment. Not only that, I got my decals on. Yeah, look at that. They came out good. Thank you, Vistaprint. Also, we got the boxes painted. Oh yeah, they look good. They look good. I want to thank everybody for their comments on what to do. The two-tone was it, but not just that. I'm gonna do, the boxes are black, the doors are orange. So I used your comments and my suggestions, your suggestions and my suggestions, and to make it work out, and I think it pops great. We still got to paint the top of that box, but we have so much wet stuff going on. I can always just unscrew the tank and pull it back, sand it down, and paint it. The back of the bed, look, now it looks like it's supposed to be there. Don't look at these are not the holes you're looking for. And the Mihal logo. Ah, that looks good. And I hope they stay on there. I mean, they should. Everything I've got from them so far works great. This is the stuff that was on the doors. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to get all that off. I used my wife's magic eraser on the doors. Probably 45 minutes to an hour scrubbing on each door trying to get the... One thing I can say is that orange paint from Rust-Oleum is pretty solid. Mihal logo. I also got a few other ones too. Not only do I got the box painted on this side, same thing. I put a YouTube sticker right here with Fixing Things with Pastor Bill, so people, if they see my truck, they can look up my thing. See, YouTube, I am investing myself into YouTube. They told me a while back, you need to invest yourself into YouTube. I had no idea what they're talking about, but that is an investment into YouTube. Also, I got little YouTube logos on the window. Boom. The Mihal truck's coming together. It really is. Oh, I'm running out of light. The sun's already down. The camera works great on low light, but it starts to make it look grainy. So I had to get this done. I still got a lot of stuff to clean up. Oh, God bless each and every one of you. On the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill, we're going to diagnose the alternator, the discharge system, and find out what's going on. Why is it, and I'm pretty sure it's the alternator. Because everything was working great beforehand. Nothing else was touched. And I just think 20 years of sitting, and then when it finally gets up on the road, it decides to put out because it's sitting for 20 years and it just doesn't want to turn no more. The motor's running great now. But it was the same thing, the water pump. When I first started it up, the water pump was sealed. About 2 times after we started it, the water pump failed, right? Who would know, right? We put a brand new water pump on it. Starter, same thing. The starter was working good, and then all of a sudden the starter stopped working. So what I do, I put a new starter on it. Thank you, eBay. I got the other logo, the f600. It's in my garage. But I got the other logo on the f600, and she's popping now. Got my antenna on there. I made it right because it was kind of cattywampus out. It was an aftermarket one because the original one is a one that extends, and they don't work good on FM. I was going to go get some parts off of the brown log. It has the original antenna on it. Remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Hey, please like and subscribe to my channel if you like these things. And I'm doing all kinds of goofy things, and I got some big ones coming up. The Pinto is coming. The Pinto is coming. We're going to be putting a V8 in it. We're going to tub it out. We're going to rock and roll that. We're going to roll cage it, everything. We're going to squat that thing down. It's already sits low. It's got some rust. I started on it back in my other house. I patched the roof up, but we're gonna do it up. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Man, I can't. Milestone alert. Milestone alert. Oh, the Mihal truck is looking good.